Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be taking a look at a new card that a lot of people are talking about right now, and that is coming out in Circuit Break called Shutline. And again, some people are saying this card is overpowered, other people say this card is absolutely garbage, you guys are overhyping it, but let's get into it. So first off, it is a counter trap card that says, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated in this face down card's column, negate the activation and if you destroy it. So that's a really good effect. We haven't had Solemn Judgment in so long in the TCG, and this card doesn't even cost any life points. That's a definitely huge advantage. Now, obviously, its effect's pretty good. It can negate practically anything, and there's no life point cost, so a lot of people are saying it's OP. Gotta be secret rare, $100 plus card. I could see this card being very expensive, again, if it's a secret rare. But here is also the other thing. Now, the other side of this argument is, obviously, when this card comes out, you just place cards not in the same card's column. However, you can force your opponent to put cards in certain locations that can be used with like other cards like Ground Collapse, but let's be realistic here. Going into link format, alright? So if you guys are kind of confused on anything I'm talking about as far as link summons go, I'm going to be linking a video down below in the description box that explains how the whole link summon mechanic works, and it can really help you out if you guys are confused on any of this. Like I said, I'll link that down below. But anyways, so in the link format, there's going to be two specific zones for extra deck monsters called the Extra Monster Zone. And what you do is you can only take one of them unless you fully link it, and then you can take your opponent's. That's a little bit difficult to do, however it is possible. I actually have a video on this. I'll link that video also down below. But anyways, so each player can only control one, again, unless they're all the way linked up, which it's going to be rare to do. But anyways, let's say I take the one on the left side. I'm now going to place my shut line right here in my spell and trap zone. So my opponent, when he's going for his extra monster zone, he's going to have to place it right here. This is mandatory, unless of course he gets rid of my monster and then places it in another zone. But for the most part, he's going to be forced to place it over here. At that point, I have my card that can negate this card, and on top of that, if he has a link summon monster that is linked arrow down, he is now forced to place the other monster right here, so I could potentially hit double cards over there if they were to activate its effects. Going even further into this, using them in the pendulum zone, if I know my opponent is playing pendulums, I can obviously set it up, and you know, obviously with pendulums, you're going to have to complete your skill at some point if you want a pendulum summon, and I can potentially get rid of the pendulum cards. So I think that this card, it definitely has its uses. Now, is it OP and broken? Depending on the deck that you guys are facing up against. Again, some decks, they really need link summons. Like, they cannot function without link summons. And at that point, this card could be excellent. And again, it doesn't even cost life points. Now, I was kind of mentioning it going first. It's really good. Obviously, you know, you take one extra monster zone and then you set it and your opponent walks into it. However, let's say your opponent makes a board and you have to break that board. Now, it becomes a little bit slower, and if you're able to stall and then negate something, yeah, it could be okay. But I think this day and age, you gotta be fast in Yu-Gi-Oh! Otherwise, you're going to lose really fast. But you guys let me know, is Shutline overpowered and broken, or is it overhyped? The way I see it is, it definitely is not a bad card. It just depends on what deck you guys are playing against, because if you're playing against a certain deck that doesn't need link summons at all, then this might not be the best card, but it's still not a bad card. Keep in mind, there are a ton of different decks. I think that this is going to cause some frustration on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, because people are going to have to manually set their cards, and the games are going to be just like 5 seconds slower each time. But nonetheless, it's still definitely a great card. But you guys let me know, is it overhyped, or is it actually really good? And some people are just kind of upset about maybe it just being a secret rare. It's going to be really expensive, but we'll have to wait and see how good it is when it actually comes out. But next up, we got some other cards to check out. We have the new Magi Bullet, Magi Bullet, however you prefer the pronunciation. But anyways, it's a new quick play spell card that says Never Endorphin is the name, and it's a quick play that says you can only activate a card with this name once per turn. So you target one face-up Magi Bullet monster you control. Its attack and defense become double its original attack and defense until the end of this turn. That target monster cannot attack directly the turn you activate this card. So if you guys don't know what the whole Magi Bullet archetype does, they're able to activate cards from their hand. So basically, if you want to think of it as kind of like an honest, or they walk into like, you know, a trap with the effect of this, it's okay. I don't really know how good the archetype is. Everything revolved around using the spells and trap cards from your hands, I believe. And I don't know what else they're going to be getting, but this is definitely an okay card. It's kind of a cool like sniper card, but definitely could make people salty about running into this card. But next up, there's another new card. I don't know if this has any synergy with some of the new dragon stuff, because there's a few new dragon cards that we just got announced. There's new like dragon tuner and stuff. But anyways, let's check out the new soldier dragon card. So anyways, it's a level 2 dragon type effect monster, and it's got 700 attack and 800 defense, so its stats are pretty weak. But its effect reads: once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you get to spell summon a level 2 or lower dragon type monster from your deck, which is actually not that bad because, hey, he happens to be a level 2 or lower dragon type monster. So what you could do with this is you can just go bring out another one. So, I mean, it'll let you kind of stall, but if you draw multiples, it's like Reborn Tengu. You don't want to draw into multiple of them. But they listed all of the cards that you guys can potentially get out, so I thought that was pretty helpful. I mean, there's some other stuff like the White Stone, which could actually be kind of good. So, I mean, it could indirectly support some Blue Eyes decks, but I know that deck hasn't been the most popular. But hey, you know, any support is available for Blue Eyes. That's kind of cool because it's like a fan favorite deck. But if you guys have any other crazy combos with Soldier Dragon, I don't think it's bad. Like I said, it's any card or effect, and a lot of decks they revolve around using things on your opponent's turn. So if you're playing this and they're activating stuff, you're just going to be able to keep on special summoning free monsters. I wish he was a tuner. That is the one thing I wish he was. Maybe it'd be too OP if he was. But let me know, guys, if you have any cool ideas with any of the new cards that we mentioned before, and definitely let me know your thoughts on Shutline. Is it overhyped, or is it actually just a really good card? People are just salty about it. But yeah, like I said, it's basically negate anything, and you don't have to pay life points, but it has to be in the same column of the card. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, would appreciate a like on it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Yu-Gi-Oh discussion videos.